The drama has had some of the best marketing in recent memory. Does it live up to its own expectations? A week before their wedding, Emma and Charlie's relationship is thrown into a tailspin by a shocking confession. The movie's a pretty easy sell, with Zendaya and Robert Pattinson playing a couple about to get married, but the drama does not go down nearly as easily as you might expect. Much has already been made online about the confession that Zendaya's character Emma makes that kind of kickstarts the plot, and I won't spoil it here for those who haven't heard about it, but it's pretty rough, and it results in this really well-conceived nightmare where Charlie is in crisis mode the week of his wedding, wondering who this woman is that he thought he knew so well. The film opens in a really smart way with the couple drafting their wedding speeches, and they're kind of reflecting on various pivotal moments in their relationship, and we as the audience are getting to see these moments through their eyes. We're seeing the day they met, their first date. It all feels fairly generic. But after that scene, where Emma confesses to Charlie and some of their friends, things really go off the rails. And the movie does a great job of recoloring their relationship as Charlie is suddenly looking back on everything with this horrifying new information. It totally corrupts his perspective of her, and it makes the wedding preparations very cold and tense. It also casts new light on their past, and Charlie suddenly remembering things that didn't disturb him at the time, but he now finds chilling. And the way Christopher Borgli, the writer, director, and co-editor of the film, cuts past and present together and sometimes morphs the two is really creative. Though the editing does get in the way of the story a bit when it overuses cross-cutting in the present timeline, there are times where two scenes are intermingled and cut between in a way that doesn't really allow them to breathe and progress naturally. There are some pretty major moments that feel kind of robbed of their uncomfortable nature by the fact that they're constantly being interrupted by each other. But overall, I do think that Borgli really has a grasp on what makes this story cut deep. His screenplay features a very early scene where the core characters are discussing a drug user and what the consequences of drug use should be. And they all have different levels of toleration for it. Like, some people think this person should lose her job, others think that there should be some forgiveness and understanding extended to this individual. And that disconnect between people's perception of certain issues and what the consequences of certain actions should be is played on really well throughout this movie. Different characters have different opinions on what Charlie should do in response to Emma's confession, and I would imagine it'll be the same with audience members who are watching this movie. The performances are really great across the board here. This is easily one of my favorite Zendaya performances to date. In spite of Emma's past, she's not an unforgivable monster. You feel sympathetic and protective of her because of how vulnerable she comes across. She's genuinely terrified that disclosing her past is going to ruin this relationship that she cherishes so much, and that makes her plight very relatable. And Pattinson is so good as his character is undergoing a crisis of trust in his fiancée. The 180 that he has to pull off is really impressive as he goes from carefree and in love to utterly horrified. And the two of them conjure up so much discomfort and awkwardness in their scenes together as they're trying to generate the illusion of warmth in the days leading up to their wedding. I do think the second half of the movie is markedly messier than the first half. There are several subplots that are introduced, most of them revolving around the workplace drama of the two lead characters that just aren't very compelling. I don't think that these subplots contributed very meaningfully to the core story, but then they're leaned on kind of heavily in the finale, and it just kind of breaks the focus from the core themes and places the drama on some very basic throwaway subplots. I'm not saying it doesn't land the plane in the end, but it just often feels like it lands with less impact than it should given how strong the buildup is. But at the end of the day, the drama is a thrillingly uncomfortable experience that features great performances and another solid showcase for Christopher Borgli. It confronts us with truly frightening ideas and refuses us any clean answers. It draws you in with some of Hollywood's prettiest faces, but it does not rely on star power alone to hold your attention. For all of those reasons, the drama gets an A-. I had a really good time with this movie. I hope a ton of people go see it because we need difficult films and we need to encourage superstars of this stature to take roles that are challenging and require nuance, both of the performers and of the audience. If you have seen the movie, please do let me know what you thought of it. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you at the movies.